NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First down, Prescott. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Prescott. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here we go, 47. Here we go, 48. 26.
The give is to Elliott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
Again to Elliott. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Ready. Blue ready. Green, triple C.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Throw left side complete. That's right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
Let's go now.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Easy.
A handoff to Barkley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Ready. Blue ready. Green, triple C.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. And the Giants send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December.
And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. Luke Kuechly in there to bring it down for a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And that is incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? It's certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Returnable here from the 38. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Barkley. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. Here's Winston. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Second down, Prescott. And he fires one incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and now it's 3rd down.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Prescott from the gun. Found his target. It's Anderson. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. That's caught right side by Anderson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Here's Prescott. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try to throw now. Winston. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A first down throw for Winston. And Winston lost the football. But I believe the Giants got this back, and they will hold on to the possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. From the gun, Winston. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Elliott. And an alley to run. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Here we go. Grand 38.
And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
And now out come the Giants. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. Here's a 2nd and 7 now from their own 7. Now Jameis on 2nd down. To Barkley on the check down. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Giants on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5.
Sonic! Watch the screen, watch the screen! Watch the screen! Hey! 5-0! Sonic!
Throwing, Winston. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Fielded at the 43.
Whoosh.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. A first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from down in Arizona. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
The first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. They keep on the ground with Elliott. Spinning. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Point after, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A big play there just before halftime. 62 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
He dumps it off to Barkley. And he will take it all in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants able to get this back within a touchdown. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken at the 3. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The second quarter score, meanwhile, down in Arizona. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Prescott again. Hauled in by Anderson, left side. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Prescott now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. Elliott. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. So, all right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Second down, Winston. Going deep here for Bryant. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
This is Elliott, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
Again, it's Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
New York set to take the field. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short. Running left, it's Barkley. He finds an opening past the 40. It's a foot race. 30. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And we are tied at 14. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Prescott to throw this time. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he fires one, but incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And New York set to take the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, 4th down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
And taken right on the 30. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now here come the Cowboys. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Prescott now on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Prescott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have broken the tie. Extra point forthcoming. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Giants ready to come out now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I think there he had to come off of his primary receiver in a big way, just trying to get it to a secondary guy, unable to get that play completed.
Checked down, but didn't even have enough time to do that. Incomplete. To throw, Winston. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Got a man, it's right. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
With that type of force on contact, as an ex-DB, I expected the ball to come free. I really did. I thought that was going to be an incomplete pass. I've got to admire him catching it, taking the hit, and getting the first down.
Well, anytime on those crossing routes, middle third of the field, you know there's a possibility of a hit like that.
And just think, if you can do that as a receiver, what that does for you and your quarterback's relationship, his confidence in him has got to be super high, and he'll look for him every time on those big third down plays.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And his throw here is incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
4 down, check, 4 down, follow. Motion. Sonic.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. Winston now to throw on 1st down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A very solid gain of 27.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And this one is right through. And that'll bring them back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end. Yeah,
eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone. So
Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start on the ground with Elliott. Room here to run. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much running room. Down to the 32. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be from 49 yards out. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Barkley. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
The Giants on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 5.
Ready? 125. 150.
Back to throw. He'll complete this to Ingram, his tight end. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Over the middle, complete. It's Bryant. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. They'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play, as we'll get a timeout, as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on third. He's back to throw. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Now a desperation throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. And they'll indeed take a knee. For granted.